Hi programmers. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can deploy your Node.js or Express server on AWS. So this is the clear picture what we trying to achieve over here. So basically, we will be having our Express server running locally first, and we will try to deploy it into the Docker container and run that Docker container inside our local machine first, and let's see everything works fine or not. So this is the first step. Second, if everything goes well, we will deploy this, we will push that container to the registry of AWS ECR, that is Elastic Container Registry. Then we will launch one of the instances of AWS, that is EC2 Linux instance, and then configure the Docker and pull that container which we already created from the local machine and put it here inside the registry, and try to run that container and make those API available to entire world. So that is the flow, and let's start doing it. So first of all, let's building the Docker inside the local machine and then run it. Okay. So what code I have over here is nothing fancy. I'll be having the folder structure, the server .js and the app.js, nothing fancy, just separating code to keep organized. Over here, I'm having the server running on port 8000, nothing fancy. So you have to do two things over here. One thing is that you have to add .gitignore, definitely, and you have to add .docker file. And from this file, you will be telling the Docker, hey, go inside the Docker hub, fetch this image of Node.js. And then I would highly recommend you guys to initialize the environment so that you can change dynamic values in future, saying that, okay, I don't want to run production this time, I want to run sandbox, something like that, and just copy those things. I'm sure that you must be aware of those simple commands of Docker. And then I'm just copying the directory entire code to the Docker container and just telling the Docker, hey, after installing each and everything, just run this command and it will up and run. Now, what you have to do over here is like everything is configured. And the second thing, make sure that you should add the Docker ignore file. And I would highly recommend to create one empty folder called key. I will tell you what we will be adding over here, and then add those key as inside the .ignore file and .gitignore file as well. Now you have to go and let's build it. Docker build -t, and I'm gonna give like programmer, that is AAMER, that is my username, and let's see node Docker, like that. If I build it and it's fetching all the data from the Docker hub. Now let's see whether we have Docker image ready. Yes, I have. Now let's run it and see whether everything working fine or not. Docker run -p on 8000, that is 8000, and then in detach mode with this container, sorry, this image, which will be creating that container. I'll copy this and run it. Okay, so it's up and running. Let's see if I go over here. Okay, I'm gonna type localhost 8000. Yeah, perfect, it's running. Now what I'm gonna do, quickly say that Docker stop test. I'm gonna stop it. Sorry, not this one. I need to take this Docker image to stop it. Docker stop image name, and it's not stopping, so I'm gonna stop it forcefully. Again, it's not stopping. So the thing is that what I'm doing wrong is, okay, I need to check the processors. Oh, that's the processor, and then Docker stop that one, and it should stop. If I go back, and check the browser, and yeah, so that's the browser. If I hit it, it should not work. Okay, now I'm gonna go server in server.js, change this one to hi hello programmers, like that, so that so you will be having this one, the new message inside the final Docker which we will be deploying on the AWS. Now this part is done. Now let's push that Docker container to ECR first. Okay, so what we have to do now to push that one over here, I'm assuming you already have AWS configure over here. If you don't have, just go and configure it and then open the main part, that is the ECR over here inside the registry, inside the Amazon console. And then you just need to, I'm just going to delete it quickly, delete and create it. I'm going to add this name, nothing, just add this name over here. You are creating a repository, just nothing but to save that Docker container. What you have to do over here, just open this, select this button and just copy these steps one by one. So just go over here, paste it. First you have to log in. So those credentials are dynamic over here based on your requirement. Everything, the host will be dynamically added over here. Just need to copy paste. See, the login is succeeded. Now you have to build that Docker image. Okay, over here. Once you build it, it's building that Docker image and everything. And once you build it, tag it and paste it over here. Yeah, everything works fine. Let me check Docker images is there or not. Yep, so its image is already there. Now I'm gonna run that. I'm gonna push it. Sorry, I would say I'm gonna push it to AWS. So as soon as I push that one, so I just need to go to this website and then console and see everything works fine or not. Still it's taking time, no problem. It still is pushing, and that was the last one, I believe. And yes, everything was pushed and we got our ECR. So the second part is done, that is over here. Now we have to launch the EC2 instance, no problem. Now just go to the EC2 instance, EC2, and then over here what you have to do is launch the instance. Go to launch instance and type Linux server for node. I can give any name, and the Linux instance I would suggest to go with that. And I'm gonna select a free tier because I don't have that much too many APIs, I would say, and then click select. The first one, it works fine. That's fine. Now you have to make sure you should consider 2 points over here. First, create new key pair value. So Linux keys, and just save it. Create this pair. As soon as you create this pair, open the VS Code and just drag this pair to this key folder. That's it. And second thing, what you have to do over here is just go to the network setting, edit it, and over here you have to add one more protocol saying that custom TCP with 8000 port. You have to expose this port to the entire public, and it should be accessible from entire world. That's it. You have to do those two things. As soon as you done those things doing, just launch it. Now what you have to do is that I'm assuming you already have Git bash available. If you don't have, I would highly recommend go and install the Git bash. That is this one. Download and then just download this Git bash. Okay, now open the Git bash, go over here and view all instances. Now select this one, as I have just only one, so I can see it's still initializing. still in pending state. That's fine. Yeah. So if you have multiple, just select the one which you just launched. Go to connect, select the SSH client. Don't think too much, just copy the last line. Over here, you are telling to this specific command on the git bash saying that, hey, take my keys and go to the username, this username particular, and that host name, and try to log in it. No problem. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go and type git bash, launch it, and then here, this is the one. Okay, what you have to do over here is go inside this command, copy path, okay, here, cd, okay, not like that, d, okay, I'm d inside d and cd control v, so I am here. Okay, so YouTube coding workspace, okay, that's fine. Let me try. No, I can't go like this, so no problem. I'm gonna go individually quickly like this. Okay, coding workspace, and then node, and the project, and the key, like this. I went inside. I have these keys over here, sorry, ls, and I have that key. Perfect. Now just the one which we just launched the instance, I'm taking those last command, this one last command, and just pasting that one inside that key, that because that key is available inside this key. Hit it. So it says like, okay, are you sure you want to continue connecting? Definitely I want to. Hit it, enter, and you are in. Now you are inside the Linux instance. Now the fun part will come over here. What we have to do from here. So we are inside Linux instance. So this is totally different, independent, and this is totally independent thing. Now what you have to do over here is go inside and talk to our AWS, because this is realizing in cloud, right? Not inside the machine. So you have to first configure the AWS inside the module over here, inside this new virtual machine. So first let's see, update it quickly, and then yes, and then you have to configure each and everything. And I would suggest how to do it is that just type AWS configure AWS, just type AWS and let's see. It will ask you a number of things, no problem. So I'm going to type AWS configure and then hit it. So it will be asking the access key and the password key. So I'm going to pause it and quickly figure it out and add it over here. And let's start. All right, I've configured each and everything. And now what I'm going to do over here is just going inside the console one more time. And then I'm going to go and let's go inside and pull this image. What you have to do, just select this view push, and that's because as you configured this username and password inside the virtual machine of Linux, you just need to go over here and then say, okay, so I got two, not this one, by the way. Okay, this one, I'm gonna go and hit it. It says like no Docker command found. I believe that's the one. No. Okay. So it's saying that okay, AWS ECR login is not found. That's fine. So what you have to do over here, you have to first say that okay, you have to install the Docker first. First, you have to do two things. Type sudo usermod -a capital G and then docker ec2 user. So this is the same user. You are telling this Linux instance, hey, use the admin mode. As soon as you hit it, Docker still it's not there. So definitely you have to install the Docker. How to do it? So you have to do like sudo yum install Docker, and then it will pull all the files from the Docker hub, the Docker, and then you go quickly, I believe. Okay, now you have to do like sudo yum service Docker start. If you do this, you can see it's not available until now. So what you no sir, service is not found. That's fine. Oh, okay, sorry, not like that. So we don't have to do yum command. We just have to push this one. That's fine. Now try pushing, saying that Docker info. It's a simple thing. It says like access permission issue. So what you have to do, you have to push two commands over here. Sudo reboot. As soon as you reboot it, or I would say first to go user mode, -a capital G, and then docker ec2 user. Hit it. Again, it's still like capital user mode. Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad. So it's not MORD, it's like MOD, and hit it. Yes, we got it. Now let's see whether I can see Docker info. No, still I can't see. So what you have to do over here is say reboot, so that it will reboot and configure and come up with the admin mode. So guys, over here you have to wait for some time because it's rebooting entire virtual machine behind the scene. So this terminal is my local system, and that terminal was the Linux terminal system inside the AWS. You just have to wait for some time. And if you go back to this one, for example, to try hitting it, this one, to connect it one more time, I think we might get some issues saying that timeout. Sometimes it say timeout, sometimes it will go quickly. As we have the very lightweight Linux instance, so it might take some time. So what you have to do over here is just wait, and yeah, definitely it will give us an error saying that connection down. Oh wow, we went in. That's beautiful. So now what we have to do over here? Nothing fancy. We have to go inside the we configured Docker, and let's see whether we have Docker info now over here. Docker info, and we don't have Docker info. That's fine. We have to install Docker sudo yum service. We have to first start the service of Docker, and then service Docker start. As soon as we did that, it must say Docker info, and yes, I can see it's running the Docker in our machine. Perfect. That's really cool. And then I'm gonna go and type Docker images and check how many images we have. We don't have any image over here. So this is the image we have to take. So what we have to do over here is just go back to this one, take this last value, okay, and then as you configured the AWS inside this one, the console, you just have to take okay, Docker pull, because you already have that image there. Just pull it. It might say this error, authentication failed. Okay, no problem. We have to configure it one more time. I'm gonna go quickly and configure it. Oh, sorry, not that one. So you have to first do this command, authenticating it, and then it's successfully authenticated, and then pull it. Once you pull it, you can see all the values inside. I'm gonna see Docker images whether I got that value. Yes, we got that. Now what you have to do over here is like Docker run -p on 8000, as we exposed, you might remember, on 8000 at the time of launching the instance, Linux instance. And then once you've done that, what you have to do is over here is like you just go and type -d, that is in detach mode, and say take this value. Once you've done that, hit enter. It says, okay, I'm gonna check that processors are running or not. It's running. I'm gonna go to the EC2 instance and then close it, so that Docker was running there. You have to copy this public IP address. You can choose either of those. Go back over here and type 8000. Boom, we got our profile up and running. That's really good. But the thing is that, okay, I wanted to go to 9000 port. It won't come up over here. So, but if you want to configure into 9000, what you have to do is just go to select your instance, go to the security group, and this is the instance for that server. That server could be a test server or the instances. If you go back, sorry, over here, and then if you go and check the security group, okay, so you have to go from here, the security group, and then select this one. As you can see, we have 8000 and 9000. That was the previous group, not this one. So the one which we just created was, I can't find over here. So basically, you just need to go inside this server and networking and change security group. What is the security group? That's the one security group I have. So I'm gonna go and check the security group. My bad. So the thing is that what you have to do over here is just go back to the instances, select this one, sorry, networking, change setting. So launch wizard 6 is the one. Okay, that's fine. So you have to launch, go to insert this, and that's the one. Okay, you have to go and edit it, and exactly this one you have to add a role saying that TCP to 9000 and from anywhere. As soon as I add that one, you can see that this will come. As soon as I add this file, you can see the 9000 will work or might not work, but let's see. And I've added over here and still it's loading. If I hit it, it might take some time to reflect. Definitely it won't work, because the thing is that that port was running on different one. So I'm gonna go and change this port to 9000 as well. As soon as I hit it and then see 9000, I'm gonna go and do this 9000. Perfect, we got 9000. Now, as you can see, and now the thing is that if I close this tab, even I close this tab, come from the outside world, exactly you can see this is up and running to the, and this API, this particular line is ready and available for entire world. I hope you like my video. If you do like, please like and subscribe, and do share to the people who definitely need it. Thanks for watching, guys.